So we are here once again after probably almost 2 years at one of our family friends' house, where we did, of course, do the Bentley Continental convertible and the S560 and the Jaguar XJL. So they just got this recently, and I'm super excited to show you around. Obviously, the ultimate Bentley SUV, or one of the ultimate luxury SUVs in the world. And you hear about these in almost every single rap song, and a lot of rappers own this, a lot of rich people own this. Whoever wants the ultimate expression of a luxurious SUV buys a Bentley Bentayga. And it was one of the first luxury SUVs before the Lamborghini Urus, before the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. So this one, I believe this is actually the twin-turbo W12 one with over 600 horsepower. So let's obviously take a look at that in a bit. But what really blew us away as soon as we got near this car is the fact that the fit and finish and the luxurious leather inside is like almost none other. I've never seen this much leather stitching in any of our cars that we've reviewed ever. So as you can see, it's like this dark, I would call it almost like, I mean, it is black, but it's such a light black, like a charcoal black. It kind of almost gives you this navy blue type effect on the leather with this white contrast stitching. And as you can see, look all the way down here on the door panels, there is so much leather used. So I really like that. And you still have 2-stage memory for your passenger seat, and we will take a look at the driver's seat in a bit. This is piano black lacquer wood, which is just fantastic. I really like that about this car. And obviously, you know, this is all-wheel drive and a very nice, dependable SUV that can also be off-roaded. So it has tons of driving modes as well. One thing that we haven't seen yet, let's take a look in the back. The way, I mean, obviously I'm sitting pretty luxurious up front because I am like 6'3", so behind me is still decent amount of room. It's definitely more of a smaller, like snub type design for an SUV, very bulbous and, you know, very cube-like in some ways, which I really like. I really love the way this thing is designed. And you have a whole leather headliner. Now, we have reviewed so many cars where it's been Alcantara and other materials and whatever, but this is genuine leather, which is insane. Okay, anyways, up to the front so I can show you a couple features. Also, look at this little table for your Mickey D's or whatever else you want to eat here, or any work you want to do back here. But the cool thing that I like about this car is that it's more so than Rolls-Royce. It's more of a driver's luxury car. And look at the way the door closes, like boom, you know, very nice sound. In the rear, of course, we have LED tail lights. Why wouldn't we have those? And the exhaust is actually very quiet. On startup, it's actually pretty loud. On a cold start inside the garage, it was like whoa, you know, it was a very nice sound. Anyways, the interior of the Bentayga from the front seat is absolutely fantastic. I love the work of leather on the steering wheel, especially. It's almost kind of like Ferrari, like where the leather, the two pieces come at the this side instead of under, you know, like a lot of other cars. And it's very nice and light right now, the steering wheel, but I can expect it to be quite heavy when you're driving it. So we got tons of different modes. This is one of the coolest controllers of the whole car because it has your start stop. If we just turn it off real quick, then you have all your sport, you have your Bentley mode, comfort, custom. There's a snow mode. There's some mode with like missiles coming off the car. I don't know what that is. That's the Batmobile mode. And you know, just a couple other things like the desert mode, and you know, a bunch of off-roading settings that are very important. Traction control off as well. So you know, this thing is absolutely insane. Take a look at the exhaust note real quick. Look at that. That is crazy. Twin-turbocharged W12. Now this, the way you could tell that this is a German-inspired W12 is because the Bentley Continental, the new one, also has this super quiet, luxurious W12. And I really like that. Like, this Volkswagen Auto Group has been making insane cars. Like the Urus is based on the same platform as well. You know, they just are killing it with the Audi Q8 as well, you know, sharing them amongst all the other car manufacturers that they have, and Porsche. So this, but they're so different in, you know, in the way they look and probably the way they drive, obviously. This thing must be a joy. So before we get out on the drive, let me show you these gauge clusters real quick, because these are very nice and classic. Like, I love the orange needle for your tachometer and speedometer. It's interesting. This is very different the way the British have it set. It's like the Japanese cars where your speedometer is on the right and the tachometer is on the left, although if you were to compare it to a German car, they would be swapped. Anyways, you have your navigation system, you know, and it is pretty smooth to use. This is a bit older system compared to what Bentley has now in their new cars, which is derived from the Audi product, you know, and the Porsche products. The big screens and everything is touch, you know, filled with touch. But I still really like this, and then you could go onto your media and set up all those things as well. So, oh gosh, that's pretty interesting. This car, I believe this one has the Bang & Olufsen sound system, or it's other one that they use. I will probably have the little text box up for that, because we are learning as we go. We are totally unboxing this car right now. So I really like that about this car, the way it's so luxurious and set up. And the cool thing about the seats is that they're very comfortable, but they're also nice and supportive, and the headrest is pretty nice and soft as well. You can bring the little ends of it out, you know, to curl in with your head, which is great. That's really nice about this car. If we put it to sport, I just heard the valves open in the exhaust, I think. Yeah, something just, yeah, see, now they're off. And now sounds more bass filled off. And what the heck? A couple of crackles and pops too, very slight though, very mature for this car. You know, they're not messing around, they're not too goon racy type or anything. But you know, man, again, like I said, look at this quilted stitching over here. We have reviewed a couple other Bentley products like the Flying Spur and the Continental, and I think that this car is probably my choice of these cars, because it's so unique, and not many people really knew Bentley as being, you know, such a big company, like the younger crowd, until this car came out, because of all the rap songs. So anyways, I guess we will now go on the drive. Actually, one quick thing I gotta show you is the trunk space real quick. So usually when we review these types of cars, and in terms of driving them and in terms of feeling them out, they're not always as we expect. But so far, what's incredible about this car is that even in the practicality range, with the, you know, the tighter design and everything, it still has so much space. And before, you know, you come to do a car like this, like a really special, expensive car that you heard so much about and watched so many reviews of, you're not always sure if it really lives up to the hype. But I'm so pleased to say that the interior of this car and the fit and finish is seriously, honestly, next level. I mean, look at the carpeting work inside there in the trunk. As I just closed it, while I'm saying look at the carpet interior, you know, how am I going to show that if it's closed? But a couple other things real quick. These wheels are absolutely humongous, but I'm glad that the sidewall is still nice and thick enough to provide like a nice, you know, Bentley-ish ride quality and stuff. And up front, of course, you have the B logo. Now, the Flying Spur that we reviewed had the red one. I believe the red one is just for the V8 model, but since this is the W12, it has this. And now, for the 2020 model year, the Bentley Bentayga Speed is what the W12 model is. Now you can only get in the Speed category because of the performance and everything. It gives you probably more performance aspects. It's the most expensive Bentayga now. Now, they even have a hybrid V6 Bentayga at the lowest end, and then they obviously have the twin turbo V8 and then the W12. Thank God this is the W12, because that is the ultimate expression of Bentley in terms of the design. The W12, so smooth and very, very quiet. I guess now let's go ahead and go on the drive. Wow, that is incredibly silent. What the heck is that? W12's idle, which is so quiet and smooth. The indicator sound is also of my preference. It's not too loud. Wow. And it just 600 horsepower W12, absolute monster. And the ride quality is so soft. What do we have this in right now? We're in sport. Hold on. Put this in Bentley mode. it's a torque converter, 8-speed, I believe. And look at that heads-up display. What the? It picks up speed at barely any throttle. Like, I just lightly touched the gas. That was on total accident, by the way. And it's just so smooth. Let's try comfort. Wonder what happens in comfort compared to Bentley mode. I guess Bentley mode is a bit of a GT mode. It kind of mixes up the two modes of comfort and sport. Oh, okay. So it makes the accelerator. Look at that. The way it goes over imperfections in the road is just insane. Oh, wow. This is... I wasn't expecting it to drive like this. I thought it was just gonna drive like a luxurious SUV, not a luxurious experience of, you know, driving. Wow, look at... It is just so relaxed. And the seat is very sofa-like. Like, I'm so hugged by the seat. And now I totally understand why people buy this. And it might look like, from far away, just a status symbol, as something that people buy because, you know, it's expensive and it's good looking. But the experience of the car is so relaxing and so strange. Like, I thought people, when they were reviewing this car and stuff, were talking about it from an aspect of, you know, it's a very nice, luxurious SUV. And I'm like, yeah, sure, of course it is. It's a Bentley. But you can't describe how comfortable it is at all. You cannot describe how comfortable it is. It is like another experience, another realm of driving that's so comfortable. And this is how I felt in the Mercedes S550 that we reviewed from the same friend of ours, because I wasn't expecting it to be that incredible. And it's the same thing for this car. And there are vibrations in the steering wheel, and you could tell where when the steering wheel, you know, goes over, you know, when you go over a bump or so. And now it's a little more heavy and stuff. There's custom. I don't know how they have it set for custom. Look at the way this thing just picks up forward, like a touch of the throttle, and it just gets going immediately. And it's still quiet. I love that. It's still nice and quiet. Now, another thing about this car is the fact that when you're going on long hauls, it's the view you get outside, you know, and the comfort it has when you're just wafting along the road. It is insane. And look at that, like, just a tap of the throttle and it immediately picks up. It's never really in the wrong gear or anything. You're still comfortable, and it's just a joy. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable engineering from Bentley. Like, look at that. You get pushed forward, and it's totally not, you know, like for example, in the Continental, in the convertible, you have above 500 horsepower, I'm assuming, like I think it's 500 or 510 or something like that. That thing is a twin-turbo V8, and you'll be like, when are you ever going to use this power? But in this thing, because of the commanding, you know, of the road, the view that you get and stuff, it's just so, you just want to put your foot down all the time. Wow. And the ride quality isn't too floaty either. It's kind of nice and stable in terms of that. You know, that's very nice. And you got so many seat controls. I could dig myself down into the seat. What? You really gotta be careful with your accelerator pedal response in this thing, because it's so sharp for the big SUV. You know, you wouldn't expect that. That's incredible. I'll just let you enjoy the view of the driving experience, and I'll stop talking. It is such a joy. This is what you need for a road trip, this car. And then it all makes sense why it's so, you know, expensive. The W12 model, I believe now, is like 230, 240 because of the speed, or maybe even more from there. And you guys definitely let me know what you would choose, this, the Lamborghini Urus, or the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, because I believe all of them are great choices. But this thing is so far my top pick because of the smoothness of the car. It is just something else. Look at that heads-up display. It tells you the speed limit, 35 miles per hour. It's got a pretty busy day today, and in traffic it's just so, man, it sounds good, so good too, because I can hear the exhaust just a little bit in sport mode. Wow, that is a smooth driving experience that I was not expecting. In other aspects of the car also that you would like to know is that obviously, you know, it's draped in leather. You got comfort for 5 people in this configuration. I believe if you get a specific model for the Bentayga, you can also get a middle seat delete, and it gives you a 2+2 type of thing. Man, Bentley's really got to make a whole full-fledged sports car, you know, like Aston Martin did with the Vantage and stuff. That would be incredible. I really want them to go fully performance for one model just to see how they could do, because they tried out the SUV thing with this car and it totally worked. So they just got to keep expanding it, you know, because it's so, I can't imagine a car with this type of big W12 long hood that's sharper than the Continental, you know. It's like a nice little sports car. That would be sick. Also, check out this panoramic roof we got going on over here. I really like it. It's very nice and, you know, airy in here, but it's also nice and tinted, so that's good too. Look at that, over a major pothole, and you obviously heard it a little bit, but it didn't really take away from the experience at all. The brake pedal is also nice and firm, and it gets you stopped pretty quickly. Wow, it truly rewards you for going comfortably to your destination. You know, you're never really stressed about anything in this car. So overall, the time with the 2019 Bentley Bentayga has been absolutely fantastic. I love the way this car drives. I adore the fit and finish and materials of quality. The entire package is so worth your money, above $200,000. Like, this car, all-wheel drive. We just lowered the air suspension. Look at how it's fitting the wheel gap in the wheel wells. That is just fantastic. It's so low, and you could obviously take this much higher as well. It has tons of off-roading modes, above 600 horsepower in a twin-turbocharged W12 Bentley SUV. Like, what else could you want? This is an ultimate family hauler, or a single-person hauler if you want to do that as well. Go on any road trip. Just an incredible experience. And look, with the lights on inside, what a fantastic event. You know, like if you're going to any party or anything, look at the piano black wood and every single chrome option, the gauge cluster. It is truly one of the best cars we have ever reviewed, and I'm so happy to say that. Thank God it was more than what I expected it to be. It is a fantastic car. Thank you so much to the owner of this car. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Auto Group. Make sure to like and subscribe for weekly videos, and we'll see you guys in the next one.